Before starting, a little bit of introduction. We are Synthosys. We help high-performing teams and hyper-growth startups to build culture and stay focused on the task and on the mission of the company without dispersion, misalignments, and all these kind of things that can happen when the company grows. And also we help leaders like today in different ways, from leadership supervision, leadership courses, coaching, and so on. And this also we help support organization to out-culture the competition, and leaders be real agents of transformation. We work in whatever is underneath the company. So we work from a personal and group and systemic approach on the unconscious bias, difficulties in relationship, and so on and so on. So this is our part. About me, I'm Vanessa Pozzali. I'm a psychologist and psychotherapist originally. I translate in this organizational field because I used to work among other field in employee assistance project, and we see that people are struggling. People should not be in my room, and they were there just because of the work environment. That's why we want to make the difference in the work environment with leaders and create high-performing team without the burnout. I'm the co-founder of Synthosys. I founded with my husband Tarek. He has background in coaching and engineering, and we have our 4C model. And is engineering the unconscious and understand how the company, how every employee see the culture and the dynamics in the company. I'm also a women's advocate. I run workshop courses for women. I do a public speaking regarding women, how to break the glass ceiling, queen bee phenomenon, and so on and so on. So if you need anything in this department, just talk to me. So now we can start about tech evolution and speak about AI. So I want to start from the beginning, where everything has started. So historically, we know that tech evolution had a deeply impact on human society. It helped to shaping culture and economy and modify daily lives. This is a little bit of perspective about the tech evolution timeline. So the first tech tools that humanity introduced was the fire. It's quite far away from the technology we know now, but at the time it was giving the same emotional response that we see nowadays. People are scared or people are embracing and are very curious. So we have these two opposite reactions. And this has happened all over the history of humanity. We introduced agriculture, changed completely our life again. We introduced the wheel and we can go further and further. We introduced the writing system, so we can pass by our knowledge, and then metallurgy, and printing press, and then the tech evolution started to be like more faster. So we have industrial revolution, electricity in the 19th century, computing in the 20th century, along with biotechnology and AI and robotics. So we see humanity went through a lot of different tech evolution that change and shapes our mind. Thinking about the effect of the fire on humanity, it was heartbreaking. First of all, it helped to warm and with thermal regulation. So not only we can see during the night, but we can take ourselves warm and regulate it. And this shape also the culture and the social community, because gathering around the fire make a sense of community, the cooperation amongst members, plus the capacity to heat the food make us able to develop a larger brains and have like less space for the jaw. So this is shaped not also our culture and our temperature, let's say, but also our brain and the capacity that we have now to do all the amazing things we are doing as humanity. So we step a little bit further in a different way, and I want to ask you, do you know this guy? Someone ever known, ever listened, heard about the homunculus? So the homunculus is a reconstruction of how our brain perceive all the sensorial signals in our brain and reconstruct it in this funny way. This is actually how our brain, our sensomotor, sensory cortex, and this is how the part of the brain process part. Of course, we are more sensible on the hands and on the lips, for example. That's why we are bigger in the presentation that we are, while other parts are less sensible, so they are smaller. Why I'm talking to our brain now? So this is to understand how technology can impact our learning and our brain. For example, speaking about sensorimotor skills, there is a study, there's more than one, I just take one, this is from 2004, is about showing how our brain, so the homunculus, change if we use an experiment, if you use an object. So we've done an experiment that the research asked people to use a tool, an object, for 30 minutes with their hands. And they did an fMRI before and after. And they see that the homunculus was modifying. So our cortex was taking in consideration the object we were using. So it's like our little friends here as an object in their hands for a while. And there is loads of study about it. And this is just to, is just to let you know about the concept of neuroplasticity. So is the capacity of our brain to reorganize itself and forming different connection. Maybe someone think that we can have more neurons inside our brain when we learn, but actually it's a wrong conception, because we have a fixed number of neurons throughout our life, unless something change, like accident, brain injury, disabilities like dementia and so on, that can affect our brain and our numbers of neurons. But usually is the numbers of connection between neurons that change. And this is what this neuroplasticity does. So neurons are able to grow these pieces here and connect with further and different neurons around. It's what make our brain connect and think in different way. So far, I hope everyone is here with me. We just learned about the concept of neuroplasticity and the impact of innovation as in our life we see in our species, like the fire, or like using some objects for just 30 minutes. So we can see that AI brings either opportunities, like the fire, give it the opportunities to develop, but even challenges. And we want to go through this a little bit. Please, if you want to add something, feel free to chat. To bring these on a leaders, so I identified these four important characteristics or connection that are important for leaders. One is attention and focus. One is creativity, decision making, and social cognition. These, for me, are four very important skills that every leader needs to grow. Attention and focus are in the part of the brain, you see just a little bit here over our head and on the frontal part of our brain. So with focus and attention, it means be able to have in our mind all the steps that we need to do, be focused on what we're doing, not commit error or reduce the number of error and distraction. What happened with AI? We have a lot of task switchings later, so switching from a computer and then a phone and then from a task to another task. And this continuous switching had to reduce our focus. We also live in a notification culture. I was reading just before this session that we have around 274 notifications and interruptions during our working day. It's quite a lot. Also, AI-driven platforms are designed to engage us and to be addictive. So we will not disengage from this platform and continue to stay trapped somehow on them. Also, there is a culture of incrementing multitasking. And this is actually a trap. Our brain is not made for us to be multitasking. The only multitasking possible is when you are very able to do something physically, for example, walking, driving the car, drive a bicycle, and so on. And you can talk and you can think because your body knows all the movements. This is the only multitasking that we are able. If you think that you can multitasking within a sessions while reading a book or something else, this is not multitasking. This is cognitive load and make you fatigue and make you decrease your focus and your attention. But for example, if you're drawing something or do like some scribble on the paper, this maybe help to increase your attention because are two different tasks, and some people feel the need to be physically engaged, to be able to engage with their attention. We see that experts or CEO, famous leader, they had problem with their attention and focus. For example, the former Twitter CEO admitted that the culture of interruption and notifications reduced drastically his attention span. So he adopted digital-free intersection and start to meditate and practice to improve their focus, because it's very important. It's something that we can learn and practice and strengthen like our muscles. So it is negative, the dark side of the artificial intelligence from this point of view is that can draw our attention. To the other side, we can implement AI that are help in this department, easy to manage notifications and helping to schedule, for example, breaks, meditation practice, and so on, to improve your focus. So if a AI technology has something built in like this, it will be more helpful and sustainable for human. Another characteristic that is very important for leaders is creativity. We can see that this part of our brain, this is evidence in green, it's where all the creativity process come out. Ish. Of course, part of the rest of the brain is still involved somehow. But how can AI tools affect or enhance our creativity? Of course, it depends how we use AI. Nowadays, we can see, we open LinkedIn and we can say all the posts are the same. Incredibly, all done by AI. So we have homogenization of creativity content. But we can also use it as enhancing our creativity. Like, for example, Coca-Cola started to use AI as a digital tools to help enhance creativity. Basically, the AI make the basics and throw idea, help with the brainstorming, and then human take over. Like, for example, it's very helpful for brainstorm a title of a presentation, a title of a book, or something like come out with examples, and so on and so on. So it can be very helpful, but when used critically, can standardize the creation and what is creativity. Because also creativity is something that you can learn and exercise. Decision making is another process that can enhance or diminish our capacity in taking decision in our daily life. First of all, we may make decision based on algorithmic recommendation, and this can influencing, so the ability or the information available are given by the AI, and these can influence our process of thinking, elaborate information, and can be biased. Also, the AI is biased because are built by humans. I will go there a little bit later. Also, with AI, we are in a rush in everything. So we want to be faster and deliver more and more and more content and so on. So we will take faster read solution proposed by by artificial intelligence, without really second guessing what AI is giving to us. Also, we can start to second guess our confidence and our human intuition. Sometimes we have intuition, but we cannot relate it to facts. Why, when you go to AI to take a decision, we can ask about facts and be reassured by it. And take decision follow these facts. Sometimes AI make up facts that don't exist in real life. A very positive help from AI is to complex risk assessment calculation and have in mind, AI mind, more than one factor. Our mind is limited in that. Usually, our brain is able to have in consideration 7 plus or minus 2 number of information. This is our span, and I think I read somewhere that it's reducing lately, but this is our span, while AI can deal with bigger data. So, like for example, Goldman use AI to assist in investment decision because AI helped to have a presence more than 7 plus minus 2 number of information and take and have a different perspective in a complex financial scenario. A negative impact on AI, it can be used, for example, in a military space or human space, let's say, when we second guess ourselves and our experience. Another social condition, another condition that is very important for a leader is be able to socialize. So develop empathy, social expectation, emotional intelligence. These are very important. What can happen with AI? We are just on the task, give it this information, give it that information, it is just transitional. So we can export this way of communicating with AI, with our team, with our peers, with our friends and families. And that is especially detrimental in the growing year. So count that this part of your brain is not until completely formed until you are around 55 years old. So these age are critical in how you use AI and how you interact with AI. Also, the other risk is the anthropomorphism of AI. Now there is a lot of a lot of technology that are building AI dolls for adults, addressed of course to male. It's the bigger market where not only they developed a relationship with an AI, but also they build as they pleased without have the experience then to deal with social expectation, emotional intelligence, and so on, or conflict. And this will be very dysregulated when you are in contact with such a situation. So, for example, a lot of companies, tech companies, they are developed algorithms, AI-driven, to take decision on layoff and so on. So employees are experiencing a shift in culture in tech companies. Once were a very desirable place to be and work for. Now it starts to begin a nightmare for some of the people. You don't know who to trust. You don't know who will be the next to be laid off or let go. And it's more difficult build relationships in this kind of environment. But a positive impact of using AI can be analyzing. I can do it. Communication patterns inside the company to help to mediate conflict and foster cohesion. And also, I don't know who read about it, but recently they were saying that OpenAI are spending lot of money just because people say thanks to AI. And the CEO make a joke like, oh, I'm very happy to spend their money. Because not only the jokes is like AI will take over humanity and they will remember who was gentle with AI, but also because we need to practice these skills. Social skills are very important. Saying that, I mentioned more than one that AI can be biased. Oh, there we are. For example, someone can notice something in these tarot that I create with the AI. So I was doing this project and create tarot to make the motivation character for your team. And if you notice, only the caregiver is a woman. The rebel, the ruler, the sage, the explorer, the lover, the achiever, the creator, they are all men. And if you see these, we did a podcast with Simon a few months ago. It was an amazing podcast, and of course, cut the fluff. We will go there later. And Simon created these images with AI. Very funny, to be honest. But if you look closely, there is this person here, and here, even worse. This is my husband, by the way, and he is the only one with Arab traits, and he's made in both images. I think they created with different AI products. In both images, his traits are more harsh and give a feeling of something kind of dangerous, to be honest. And I can assure you, my husband doesn't look like this, doesn't have this harsh expression. But because it came from Arabic countries, AI is biased in this sense. But not only AI is biased, even humans are biased. Our brain are biased because we are not able to discern the difference between real life and other type of relationship. So if we see, for example, here, car speaking on the computer and car in real life, our brain doesn't perceive the difference. This is a relationship. So if a car in our computer is artificial intelligence or a boat, we will not see the difference. Our brain cannot see the difference. So what leaders can do in the era of artificial intelligence? First of all, learning. What AI coming from? I'm not expert whatsoever in technology. My husband can testify about that, but you can understand how artificial intelligence is made. So artificial intelligence is based on machine learning. Machine learning, that means that there is someone that do tagging or organize database of information in data, will training the AI to recognize pattern, data, and so on. And then somehow the AI will learn like us. we see that the problem it's here and here is the tagging, how the information are given to the AI. Based on what data? Every data are biased. The way we decide to build a research, to recollect the data is biased because we will left out something and we will prioritize something else. So how we organize all the database matter. And matter also the training, how we help AI learning. If I am biased towards something, I can see patriarchy, misogyny, racism, and so on and so on. I will train my AI to be exactly like that. So as a leader, we can learn how AI is built. We can exercise our cognition, decision-making, social network, social cognition, creativity, attention and focus are things that we can exercise. And then we need to train ourselves and be more grounded in ourselves, less reliable on AI. Use it as a tool, not as a competition of ourselves. So just to complete a little bit, and then we can go on questions. How Synthosys can help you. So we have our campaign that is called Cut the Fluff, like a podcast. You can find information on our website. We usually do Friday workshop, very affordable workshop in Women in Leadership Supervision, and my husband did by me. And my husband is doing ICF CPD Rogue Coaching Model workshop every Friday. So if you are a coach, if you are with the ICF, is accredited. And also we have a discount on our 360 leadership assessment that it's on-house tools, and also we insert cognition and behavior and things that a leader should have regarding the AI. So exactly what we speak this morning. If you want to know if your company is ready to embrace AI, if your leader are ready to embrace AI, you can call us. We have also our assessment, the 4C culture and dynamic assessment, and our leadership course. Please, we like to hear from you. Your opinion matters, so please scan the QR code here and leave a review for us. And thank you. A little bit more about our courses. We just launched our Synthosys course only for women. So it's a very discounted price. There is the bundle that includes the 360-degree assessment. So if you are interested or you know someone that is, please send us in our direction. Now, about questions, I had a previous questions that I saved by test here from LinkedIn of someone that would love to be here this morning but couldn't be. Her comment was, it sounds like a really interesting talk. I can be both a bright and dark mirror, and there is still so much to learn about to be used. I'm concerned about the energy demands its use as, and what effect this may have on environment. Can we learn to use AI mindfully? This actually, it's a very important question. We didn't touch this point in this presentation, but it's so powerful to see how we are biased. For example, I went to a conference in Italy. It was all about environment, focus on the goal that we have to achieve as humanity in 2015, and one of the goal is about environment. Plastic reduced. There was a presentation of a lot of business that do try to take out the plastic from the ocean, pollution, and so on and so on. Amazing, amazing things, really. And what just stood out to me, that during this presentation, everyone used AI. Even during the conference, there was an AI relay, like call out for breaks and so on and so on. And no one questions the use of energy from AI. I don't really have a reply for the question, I'm assume, but what we can do is learn awareness and try to help to build renewable energy that is not polluting and bad for our environment, and use AI alongside us to push forward in this department and be more environmentally helpful and free from pollution. So this is what I can say. If there is no other questions, we are just put on in time. So thank you very much to be here today, and see you soon. Bye bye.